Well, I have to ask, what was it like to revisit Toxic Avenger all these years later as a producer?
Well, we've been active toxically because we put out, we have the cartoons and toys and a lot of stuff. And Toxie makes a lot of appearances. And but to have a $50 million movie with this incredible cast with, Peter Dinklage, what a great idea. And they all love the movie. I was just with the cast at Comic-Con. Actually, I've been with them a few times, but they're all pretty deep into Troma's oeuvre. And I was on the bus with them at San Diego Comic-Con, and they were talking about Citizen Toxie, because that's the fourth one, which is
Yeah.
not terribly well known. But I think Elijah asked someone about terra firmage, and Jacob Tremblay had seen it, and there was a real. And then in Bulgaria, everybody was a fan of Troma, and they were all. It was a lot of love. And Macon Blair, he's like James Gunn. Everyone who works around him loves him, and
Yeah.
he is like a radioactive love machine, and brilliant. I was so happy that he was chosen to do this. It's a dream come true
Well,
with
and
a little bit of.
were you involved at all in the selection process of Macon as the writer and director?
No,
No.
no. I think that was Alec Garcia, who's our boss on Toxic Avenger, and he says that this movie is the highlight. He's big. He's doing Legendary's new Godzilla movie in Utah. There'll be a lot of Mormons in that getting up by Godzilla, but he says it's his the highlight of his career is producing, and he's. I think he. I don't know who settled on Macon, but boy, I was so happy because I was a fan of Macon long before, I had seen the I Don't Feel Good in This Neighborhood Anymore, and of course, Green Room and
Yeah.
Blue, whatever it is. Murder Party, terrific. The
Yeah.
guy's the right guy.
Yeah.
And
Macon's
oh,
fantastic.
met him a few times, and we talked, and he clearly gets it. And I sent notes, which he ignored, rightfully so. It's his movie. It's his movie. And at Comic Con San Diego, in front of 6,500 people in this big room H or hall H, I presented the mop of Toxie to Macon, the new. It's in his hands now. So we'll see where they go with it. And hopefully it's successful, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. And thank you again. Thank JoBlo too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I had some coworkers that got to see that in Hall H, and they absolutely loved it. So it's
Oh,
definitely,
great.
yeah, and I had a blast with it as well. And
Terrific.
you have a great little cameo where you actually share a scene with Macon. How did that
Yeah,
come
yeah.
about?
Well, I have lips like a woman. What more can I say? And I know how to use them. He's a fan,
Yeah.
he put, hey, James, I'm in Superman. James Gunn. And I'm in a piece. I'm in James. I'm in a lot of movies by Troma, Troma. How do you say it? Alumni.
Yeah. You're the lucky charm.
Well, that's my father said. If you rub a hunchback's hump, you get good luck. And I think I'm James Gunn's hump, hunchback, hunch. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
probably Macon Blair's. I hope. At any rate, it was a wonderful family. It really the stars all were into it, and they were nice and pleasant. I could look them in the eye, which I was told not to. I was at a film festival where I was told, "Don't look if you happen to cross paths with Russell Crowe. Do not look him in the eye." Uh, this is the opposite. These people were trauma people, even though they're, big stars. And Jacob Tremblay, a young kid, terrific and smart. And you saw him at the panel. How old? He's like 17, 18. When I was 17, if I was on that panel, I'd be, mommy, he was terrific. I mean, they're really great people.
Yeah.
And that's all Macon Blair. The whole film is really.
The cast is like just incredible here. What was your reaction when seeing the kind of talent that was involved? Like, was there someone in particular that you were just excited to be on board?
Well, we were working on the fifth Toxic Avenger. We were developing Mr. Toxie Goes to Washington, and but we wanted to try to give it a spin. We couldn't figure out, should Toxie get obese? Should he die? Should he turn into a woman? But Peter Dinklage is brilliant. That's the best, and he's great. It's perfect. The pathos, the sadness, the Joycean epiphany to try to make life better for people in Tromaville. All the callbacks that Macon put in. There's lots of Troma callbacks for Troma fans. Pretty esoteric, some of them. It's got my wife Pat's butcher store, which that makes sense since I'm, you don't know what it's like being married for 52 years. Butcher store was perfect. She's the commissioner of all media in New York City, and you would love to meet her. She's great. If you come to New York, but you'll have a good time. Meet the gang here, and
Definitely.
we'd love to host you. It'd be great.
That would be amazing. Well, and you're still a filmmaker in your own right. What's the biggest difference in the filmmaking process for you now compared to like the 70s and the 80s?
We're still running on we're still fan fueled. Everyone on our movies. We're editing now The Power of Positive Murder, in which Toxie appears. But it's all fans. Everyone has ever worked for us, from James Gunn, Trey and Parker and Matt Stone. All of these folks are in our movies because they're fans. Vincent D'Onofrio, Marissa Tomei. The company's fan fueled 52 years. It's kind of historic for an independent studio to last so long with no advertising. Whereas the big Toxic Avenger now, they've got a lot of money behind it, and they're pushing in a good way, and hopefully they do well with it. It really is a masterpiece, I think. And the transformation scene alone, you just look at that. That's art. Should be in the Museum of Modern Art. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and I want to ask you about your film Mr. Melvin, which, if I'm understanding this correctly, is a re-edit of the second and third Toxic Avengers. Well, Avenger. What made you want to pursue that?
Well, Andrew Miller, who's producing the reimagining of Poultrygeist Night of the Chicken Dead by Mercedes the Muse, it's being shot in L.A., but he found the original script to Mr. Melvin, and he and Adam Pelletier, who stars in our new movie that we're editing, Power of Positive Murder, which I directed last summer, based on Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, so you can see it's slapstick comedy. And I was the only one on set who actually read that book. So there was a little bit of cultural clash with the Troma people, the volunteers who came. They thought it was, old-fashioned Troma, but it's something else, this one. And we never have enough money. We never have enough time. We don't have the expertise. We don't, so how nice that Macon had everything that he could, imagine, and he used it. He didn't just make Fantastic Four. He made what I think is a masterpiece, unrated, but yet old people have seen it. They focus groups. They had general audience. It was over 90 on the focus groups, and they had Troma focus groups for fans of Troma, always over 90. So I think thanks to Macon, Blair and Alec Garcia and the wonderful cast, I think they got something. And the Bulgarian crew were all Troma fans too, even though we have it's all bootleg, the gift of bootlegging.
That's
and
amazing.
I have a book out called the only useful book I've written is sell your own damn movie. And I talk about the gift of piracy, that for an independent filmmaker, it can be a good thing. It gets your work out there.
Yeah.
Artists want their work to be seen. So we're known all over Russia, South America. I've been given tributes in Brazil. I don't think we've ever had a museum in Brazil. We've never had in Rio de Janeiro, we've never had any distribution, but I've been there 3 times to get tributes and awards, and all thanks to the gift of bootlegging, or whatever you call it.
Well, that's all the time I have with you, Lloyd. Thank you so much for talking with me today, and hopefully I'll see you out in New York.
Welcome. We'll continue this in New York.
Definitely. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.